April 13th, 2014. Guys, these are Earth-facing images of the SDO. Three things I'm watching. To the right, we had a a coronal mass ejection. To the left is the big sunspot that's got these small flares keeping pressure on us and small coronal mass ejections, if you'll watch there. But in the bottom left quadrant, right here, this filament is becoming very loose, guys. Look at it. Now, if it releases from the bottom, which it appears to be, it will be a whip-like motion directly at Earth. It will. You see what I'm saying? If it releases in the middle, it will go down. But if it releases at the bottom, it's going to whip up, and it's going to cause us plasma density problems on Earth a few days later. But this area is growing. See this? And the small sunspot to the right is also growing. But notice how it's constantly kicking out these small flares, small sparks. This is electrical energy being blasted out at Earth. And if you take a look at it very closely, you can see quite a bit more activity than it appears on the surface. But it's just steady pressure. Again, look at the size of that flare coming around. Now, this steady pressure has caused us another quake. It came in as a 7.6. They've lowered to a 7.4. Again, the same one as late yesterday in the Solomon Islands. Same place, excuse me. Come down. This one came in as over an 8. It was lowered back to a 7.6. That pressure is on the Solomon Islands. It has moved from Chile across the Pacific Ocean to here. But guys, I'm concerned because of the solar density increase we're going to have on April 15th, Passover around 8 p.m., unless they update that time. Just kind of looking around the ring of fire here, guys. But we're seeing moderate activity as we normally do here. There's Ferndale, California, come down. But guys, the Cayman Trench area, I talked about this the other day, is north of where all the big quakes were in Chile. But it is a fuse break point for the tectonic plates. You see the big curve there that goes around that. Looks like a thumbprint from there to the right, guys. See that curve? That is a fuse, just like we have about 4 of those around the Earth that look very similar to this. It's where these plates just grind together to a breaking point. And that Grand Cayman Trench has been opening up, and they have measured some of the highest temperatures of these volcanic vents in the ocean here. Remember, I think it was last year late when we started seeing a lot of the whales come up around Florida out of this area. Well, the magma in this area is increasing, and I think it's got a lot to do with the pressure from Chile, or vice versa. Either way, it doesn't matter. In other words, we saw the pressure on the fault zone there, and now across the Cayman Trench area, Mt.Fuego is acting up. This came in. This is the latest reports from last night. It says activity at the volcano continues to increase and could be heading towards a new paroxysm with lava flows, strong explosions, and potential pyroclastic flows. Constant avalanches were observed on the upper southern flanks, which could be related to the opening of an effusive vent. The increased rise of magma to the crater has been producing stronger and more frequent explosions at an average of 8 per hour, reported in last night's special bulletin of the Volcano Observatory. It says incandescent lava fragments could be ejected to more than 1 kilometer. But guys, it's creating these shock waves. And when you're creating shock waves on this fault zone, and especially where they meet, you're coming all the way from the mid-Atlantic plate down into the ring of fire. But where does it connect? Grand Cayman Trench to the right. See right there? And there's a break point. See it right under the Grand where it comes in that green line, the fault zone, straight drop to the right. Trouble for both any direction of a major drop or shift there. This is Fuego here, a very tall mountain. Some images from some of the different eruptions and things like that. You can go to Google Earth and check this out. It'll give you the information. Very tall. It overlooks a vast area. You can see the ocean to the left, and back to the right it goes towards the Gulf of Mexico through that fault zone. But this mountain has been somewhat quiet. Again, a few of the images there. But now they're concerned about it, as you can see from the reports last night, and they are watching it. Now, again, Today's the 13th. 15th is the first known plasma density increase that we're seeing on the satellites. So that's going to be kind of a critical time to watch this. There's too much pressure between Chile, the Solomon Islands, and this point. Right there, take a look at it. Again, very high point, very prominent peak in the area. When you get magma rising here at this height, you could have a lot of trouble with it, guys. But this is a heads up. You can go to RSOE and get the latest volcano updates, guys, and we're going to be watching it through the day. Again, the solar activity seems to be moderate at this point. And look at what the Solomon Islands are doing. God knows when to give us a break when he's not ready for the end yet. He's giving us plenty of signs, so plenty of heads up. You guys be safe.